Hello and welcome back to Copyrighted Music. I didn't really plan for this one, so let me go down here. Might make a lick of difference. So I'm just out of Mission Impossible Fallout, aka Mission Impossible, because if I call it Fallout, people will think I'm talking about Fallout involving super mutants and the Enclave and all those fun things. Instead, we're talking about the joys that is Tom Cruise. And I was genuinely expecting Tom Cruise in the form of everything revolves around Tom Cruise. In other words, his ego. But instead, I got a film that was enjoyable. It really was. Okay, first things first, before we get to the movie itself. There we are. As you can see, I'm here in the Carrick Brewery. Just wrapping myself up while I make this. Alright, so, first things first. The movie itself, I had a fun time sitting through it. Bar two things. Number one, I sat behind a bunch of students. I think from France, but maybe from Spain. There was a lot of them. I'd assume the grand total of their age would have been about half my age, and there was like 20 of them. They were old enough to get in, but that was about it. I'll take them over a bunch of toddlers any day, but I did remember there was a moment where I was just sitting at my chair and suddenly looked over and there was a bunch of feet, like literally right next to me. They're just hung up their feet because there was no one directly in front of them. Well, that's all well and good, except when you want to go to the toilet, then that's bullshit. Besides that, I had a fun time. Oh, the other thing I suppose was just able to scribble down any notes I could, which I haven't done this really before, so kind of a bit tricky. But anyway, first things first, I want to reiterate, I enjoyed the film, but I had some problems with it. The biggest thing I had was the sheer amount of rip-off moments. And I don't mean like standard rip-off moments where everything is ripped off by everything else. I mean genuine rip-off moments wherein I could point it out and said, oh, that's the exact same scene from Tomorrow Never Dies, or oh, that's the exact same scene from I think it was New Hope in one scene. I'm not going to say when or which. If you watch them, you'll be able to count them up too. But once you get past that, it was a solid action film. Simon Pegg wasn't full of himself, neither was Tom Cruise, which is surprising. But there were moments where I genuinely was surprised with the twist they made. I mean, in hindsight, if you looked over it a few times, you're like, oh yeah, that's fine. I can see where they were going with that. But instead what they did was kind of like drop hints, and then when they unload it to you, you're like, oh, okay, that kind of makes sense. But afterwards, alright, take the big bad for example. He doesn't seem like a big bad. He's one of the same big bads from before. And he's kind of almost like a MacGuffin. He's something you have to catch. It's all his minions you have to get through. And doesn't really play up to the same sort of like role that you had in terms of bad guys with, in particular, I do believe it was 3. I think it was Mission Impossible 3. They had a really bad guy. I remember a really good bad guy that stuck out. But with this guy, he was just could have even been the same guy. I don't think it was for this long in the series, but you know, whatever. It's been years ago. Besides that, the action scenes were pretty damn good. I was waiting for the scenes from the trailers, and they took their time to get there, which is good, because if you see something in the trailer and it happens right after bat, you're like, oh, okay, what's the point of staying? If that's something you wanted to see in the trailer, it happens, boom. That didn't happen. Um, that happened. In fact, in particular, the helicopter scene happened right at the end. Right at the end. And yeah, yeah, it was pretty enjoyable. It was all pretty much straightforward, and I have no idea why I had to see it in 3D. I know I'm colorblind and everything, but I had no idea why I was sitting there watching it in 3D when there was about maybe two 3D scenes in the whole film. I know other movies are guilty of that, but whatever. It was just, I've seen 3D films that they really played up. I hear Dread, which I haven't seen in 3D, but I know is also done in 3D. I hear that is a great film to watch in 3D. And again, I keep on putting out its negatives. The action scenes are pretty top notch. Dialogue is as good as it always is. Like I said, like Simon Pegg doesn't really play up the fact that he helped co-write it, like he did in another J.J. Abrams film. Tom Cruise doesn't play into his ego at times. He's treated as a second-class citizen, which is always nice, because I always like protagonists that are knocked down before they get back up. The Indiana Jones, the McClanes of the movie world. Vic or Vag, something. What's his name? God, it's gonna sound racist, but the black guy. He was pretty damn cool too. He wasn't in it as much as I thought he would be, though. I was Oh God, look at this here. What the hell's that? Like a smosh bug or something? Jesus. Sorry for turning you into my mirror all of a sudden. But, no, I was honestly expecting him to be in a lot more. He had his roles to play, though, so I was glad for that. Overall, I enjoyed my time there, but don't expect, I doubt that's going to be winning any Oscars. It doesn't need to. It's a good bit of a laugh, It's a good action film. If you're going to see that, and you're going to see Skyscraper, and then you have to defend one of them, well, I'd probably defend Mission Impossible over Fallout. But, some people don't need the urge to defend Skyscraper or any shit like that. And I haven't seen Skyscraper. It could turn out to be fucking hilarious or terrible. Speaking of, trailers. Right, so the gist of trailers is as follows. I saw the Jurassic World trailer. I was going to think of seeing that, but it's on around about 8. I'm not sure when now is, 5 or 6 in the evening, something like that. So, I'm not really in the mood of going back. I've already crossed over the bridge twice today. I don't want to go back over a third time. That looks like a film I could watch once and then completely forget about it. The prior one with Chris Pratt was probably the best sequel to a Jurassic Park movie, but that's not saying much. Then you've got Meg with Jason Statham. No, there are other people in it too, but who gives a shit? It's Jason Statham. Now, there's just a stupid action film about a giant shark. About a bunch of giant sharks, actually, so that could be fun. Ant-Man and the Wasp. Haven't heard great things about it. The first Ant-Man was... it was alright. It wasn't terrible. It wasn't great. It was just there. I think there was a reason why he wasn't included in the Avengers. Again, that looks like it could be watchable. I don't know. And there was one more. Mamma Mia. But I'm just going to say Oprah right now. I'm never going to watch Mamma Mia unless you pay me. If you pay me, I will watch it. Because I'm that self-destructive. But, yeah. Yeah, I enjoyed my time watching the latest Mission Impossible film. But I'm not gonna like rewatch it over and over again every few months. There are so many better series out there, and there are so many better, Tom Cruise movies out there. But this was alright. Yeah, this was, I'd say, about 60% out of 100%. Yeah. So, if you got the money and the time to spare, I'd say go and do that. Right. So, that's one film I've now watched in theaters. The next one I'm going to be watching is in Netflix. So, don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more. Comment down below. And hopefully next week I can be back here, if not directly here, then back there, watching something else. I'm definitely thinking The Incredibles. If you like the idea, tell me down below. And yeah, I'm back. So, bye.